Good evening and welcome to this Friday edition. Somebody says a rainy edition. It's a rainy day really, but not a rainy edition. We're talking about Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. Well, it's a gathering of media professionals, especially journalists, who come here to look at different perspectives, every story that is, or some stories that are trending in the last 24 hours. But today on Press Roundtable will not be different. We shall look at some of these issues with the balanced disposition. So many is being talked about. Well, my guest is Chukwudi Ojimofor. He's here in the studio. You're welcome, Chukwudi.
Thank you very much, Bon.
Yeah. Chukwudi, it has been a long time you've not been on the show. We'll take some of the headlines and we'll go on a short break. And we'll come back, we'll give insight to some of the headlines. Atiku's man taunts Wike to demolish Aso Villa. Federal government refunds state's money on roads. Lagos private jet terminals are to be demolished. Shetima says poor governance responsible for banditry in Northwest. On the pipeline vandalism, court remands oil thieves for pipeline vandalism. Joint Commission to review new regulation on bank customers in Nigeria. Niger junta stops UN NGOs from military operation zones. Agency sensitizes residents as flood claims 5 lives in Adamawa. These are some of the headlines that we're going to look at. Don't go away, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break. But don't forget to join us on our various social media platforms, our YouTube Atlantic Television Network, and other social media platforms, our mobile app, ATN Live on YouTube and Facebook, Atlantic Television Network. There is no other program today, your flagship program for media professionals, Press Roundtable. Don't go away, we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned. My name is welcome back. It is still Atlantic Television Network. Press Roundtable here in the Garden City. I've already told you that Chukwudi Ojimofor is here in the studio and is joining me to look at some of these issues. Now to our story brief now. Daniel Bauer, spokesperson for Atiku campaign, has taunted the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to start his plan of demolishing buildings that are not in the original master plan of Abuja from the seat of power, Aso Rock. Spokesman for the Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Council in 2023 elections, Daniel Bauer, speaking to the press Thursday night, tackled the minister on his demolition threat. Bauer argued that if the original plan of the FCT must be followed, then the presidential residence and some other government assets must be demolished as well. Let's even start with the demolition. Wike said he wants to go back to the regional master plan. If we talk about the regional master plan, let me tell you that the Aso Rock villa that sits the president, the seat of power, is not in the regional master plan. It must go down. The People's Democratic Party chieftain, meanwhile, acknowledged that Wike, an ex-governor of Rivers State, has the capacity to deliver as a minister. He should calm down and get things done without a fight. I think that this young man has been speaking from two sides of the mouth. He has been prevaricating. If you look at the master plan of Abuja, over time there were some adjustments made in planting government structures. That is different from those distorting the master plan. Some adjustments were made to build the Aso Rock Villa, to build some military barracks. It's not only Aso Rock Villa, and some other residential buildings for government officials. These were genuine and legitimate adjustments. So what he's saying is neither here nor there. It is just a matter of taunting the governor and the former governor. And at the end of the day, he now added that the governor has the capacity to work, but he should stop fighting. You're welcome once again from your journey.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. But I was in Abuja when they were sworn in.
Yes.
Privileged to be there.
Yes.
And Wike talked about...
He has started demolition, do you know that? A multi-million naira building was demolished recently.
Yes. So the Abuja people, the aborigines of Abuja, told him, Oga, this is not how we do here. We are going to calm down to work. Then talking about what the PDP chieftains is saying. I think he's also saying that it is not just demolition that is the work of a Minister of Federal Capital Territory. There are other things. So saying that it talks from both sides of that. However, what he said is a kind of advice to the former government.
It's not what he said, but how you say it. It's not what he said, but how you say it. Look at the last one that was a good advice, that he has the capacity to do work, that he should calm down. That should have been, it should have ended with calm down. To stop fighting.
There are some other people also who has advised him that there are some other jobs, other ministerial...
No, you don't tell a minister what job to do.
It's not about telling him.
Now listen.
It's not about telling.
Let me make a point. Let me make a point here, a very straightforward point. Abuja has been suffering the issue of flooding. A lot of people are built on water right of ways. People are drowning. People are dying. You don't need to tell a minister to keep an eye, a blind eye to those fundamental issues that affect the lives of the people and begin to do education and all that. He will do all that. He was talking about the Blue Rail and all that. He has spoken about virtually all there is to be spoken about in Abuja. But most importantly, a lot of people, they say when dry bone is mentioned, the old woman becomes on knees. Abuja has issues of flood, issues of sanitation, issues of congestion, and that has to be tidied up. I'm not sure if a federal capital administration, which this man said, is like a state, will turn blind eyes to the genuine needs of the people in terms of who is building where and who didn't build where. I'm not sure that is going to be the case. But there are genuine people who build houses, to the breach when it comes to interpreting the master plan. Talking about an adjustment. Port Harcourt, for example, the plan you have, the old Port Harcourt Township plan, is not what we have today. Are you saying that we should demolish Obiwale Cultural Center because it was not part of the old Port Harcourt plan? Are you saying we should sack the Air Force Base because it's not part of Port Harcourt plan, because that Air Force Base was the Port Harcourt International Airport? Are you saying we should not continue with the Ring Road or the Greater Port Harcourt plan? There are so many things that were done outside the plan. Every year, there's what we call urban governance. Urban renewal and urban governance. Renewal is part of urban governance. There should be some level of adjustment. And those adjustments are genuine adjustments. It's different from what Wike is talking about. So that man is speaking off the mic.
I don't think so. He's entitled to his opinion,
yes,
however.
No, go ahead.
He's entitled to his opinion,
yes.
and I'm not also his spokesperson.
No, you're not.
But
you're entitled to your position.
Yes.
We have to have a balanced view.
What I'm saying is, Wike, as a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, he must have critics.
Yeah.
For sure. And when this person is on his own, talking, he's entitled to his opinion. And being in a saddle of leadership, you must listen to different opinions.
He's listening.
You must listen. So for the party chieftains to come up this way, and there are some other people who talk different things from
even if he is calm. Some people are being critical. They say, no, God, take him easy. And they're saying that. Yes.
So I wouldn't agree with you that he talks from both sides of his mouth. I wouldn't agree with you because the man is part of Abuja residents. He's part of
Wike has also lived in Abuja.
He's part of
the minister in Abuja.
Maybe his own problem in Abuja is not about what you just said about flooding and all the rest of them. His own problem is a different thing from what he now suggested.
So he's been opinionated, self-opinionated.
For sure. And it's accepted.
No, it's accepted.
And Wike, from my own perspective, should also... listen, I was, as I told you, when they were sworn in, I was in Abuja. And he came in and they asked him a lot of questions, channel televisions. They asked him this. I said,
I listened to the channel interview.
Yes, he talked about they asked him about his party, PDP. If they support this, they support that.
That's a different story from this story.
Yes,
it's a different narrative.
Okay, so let me say that Wike has his characteristics, and which people should also at least welcome. The people of Abuja should also welcome his characteristics, his idiosyncrasies, how he behaves and every other thing. And you can't take somebody away from that. So that is my take on it.
Now, look at it from this way. Let me just knock it off. I think that people should be patient. People should not be... It's not right to stereotype leaders. And that is what's happening with Governor Wike and former Governor Wike. And I'm happy that the man who taunts him, that's the word there,
taunts, yes.
Who was taunting Governor Wike, former Governor Wike, admits that he has the capacity. Let's hope that he will turn that capacity into action, not words. All these are distractions. He has identified these distractions. One of them is mounting billboards here and there, congratulating him. He said, don't do that, I'm not interested. So that will tell you that he's not there to fan his embers, fan his ego. He's not there. He's there to do work. And realizing that he's an opposition man in a government that is not of his party, I think that he is going to do what is right. Now let's look at this Umahi story. Minister of Work David Umahi says the federal government cannot refund money spent on federal roads for now. Umahi made this known on Thursday when he visited Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State in Ibadan. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that the minister is on a 2-day working visit to the state. The economy right now will not permit any commitment by the federal government. However, records of such road projects done by the states will be kept and will be revisited when the economy improves. So you see that it has always been the position of River State government. They have always championed that move of refund. Governor Amechi, for example, did a lot of roads. And Governor Wike also did some. And during Wike's time, Wike championed the cost for refunding of that money. And that was what helped River State government in achieving serious infrastructural improvement. But one thing is important. Why should the federal government allow the state, wait for the state to do their roads for them? Because you have 3 levels of government responsibility. You have the exclusive list, you have the concurrent list, and you have the residual list. The concurrent list presupposes that the federal government has certain responsibilities that are exclusive to them. I mean, exclusively, sorry, that are exclusive to them. Then the concurrent list also presupposes that you have a shared responsibility between the federal government and the state government.
Taxes also.
Which also includes road construction. Also includes tax. And all that. Education, health, and all that. Then you also have the residual list, which is the relationship between the state and the local government. Right now, residual list is almost dead in terms of residing with local government, but now reside more, 99% more with the state.
Yes.
So the state combines both residual and concurrent. So the point is that, so the federal government has certain responsibility cut out for them. You can't go from here to Aba. You can't go from here to Enugu. A lot of roads are in bad shape. And this is why states like Rivers, Lagos, Bayelsa, and some other states of the Federation embark on construction of federal roads because people must move around. And if this is done, is it not incumbent on the federal government to refund on time so that the money that would have been used to take care of the people in the states would be used for other things? It would not be spent on the responsibility of federal government because they carry the chunk of the money. If you look at fiscal responsibility in terms of fiscal federalism, the money is more at the center than in the states in terms of individual states.
Yes, see, when we look at issues, you have just brought up the germane problem.
Yeah.
Here, we're talking about the fiscal federalism. You can now see that it is a lopsided federalism in Nigeria. The lopsided nature is the cause of all this. And if you want to discuss this issue, it goes down to what we are talking about, restructuring.
Good.
When we talk about restructuring, we would have, if the country is being restructured, every state will be allowed to develop on its own. But when we look at the stipends, monthly stipends from Abuja, each state look about monthly stipends from Abuja. Now, when you talk of federalism in the first place, the whole thing was to start to move from the state to the up. Now it starts from the top to down. That's why I called it lopsidedness of our federal system. So this lopsided nature plays part in virtually the wrongdoing in Nigeria. I have to to categorize in this order. It plays part in all. Then come back to what we are discussing.
You're on the right path.
Yes, patterning the road. Because of this same thing, if the states are allowed to develop on their own, the issue of federal road and non-federal road would have been taken care of itself. So what are we saying in essence? What we are saying is that this country has to be restructured. If we restructure, this what we are talking about, I cannot do it. It wouldn't have come in. Federal government cannot do it. It wouldn't have come in. All roads in Rivers State would have been done by Rivers people because the taxes, everything are there, which they pay little to federal government. That is what we talk when we are talking about federalism. Got what you get within your state. The oil is in the Rivers State will then pay little tax to the federal government.
That's fiscal federalism.
That's fiscal federalism, which is at 0 point in this country. And then now we are paying, the federal government is paying dearly for it. By anybody that does any road will write a jumbo or bogus bill claims and keep for them. So they are part and parcel of the problem. Nobody, until we go to the root, the foundation of this problem.
Very beautiful contribution there. I think I like your position. Fiscal federalism is the major issue. You have just said it. But before we restructure the convoluted federal structure, in terms of institutions, in terms of physical spread and all that, fiscal, what do we do? Should the state continue to construct roads, or should the federal government go down, hit the road running by asking the Federal Ministry of Works to walk all the roads. Must they wait for people to do that? Because, yes, the problem is that we have a convoluted federal structure. We need fiscal federalism, where every state should mobilize resources, utilize those resources, use the money to develop their states and their people, and then pay tax to the federal government, as it's done in America. Until we do that constitutional restructuring, should we continue to allow states build roads for the federal government? Doesn't the federal government have the capacity and the resources to construct roads in the southeast and south-south of Nigeria, for example? Look at East-West Road. When we hear about road construction, we hear more about the Lagos Expressway. The roads in the north are constructed because of their terrain, they are strong. But in the south-south and southeast, where you have erosion, you have swamp, you have ocean surge, you have a lot of issues, road construction is more expensive. And federal government doesn't seem to see some of these issues and consider them. Must we wait for restructuring before we do that? That is a big question.
But you see, I don't know.
Yes.
You never will have asked this question because the constitution of this country cannot be changed.
That's the point I'm making. So we can't wait for it.
No, if you go against the constitution, you are being controversial.
Okay.
And if anybody that is in the side of government will also refer to the constitution until it's been changed.
Okay.
So that is our bed. That's the problem we're having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's look at another problem that we're having again. The federal government has said it will demolish 2 multi-million naira private jet terminals, aircraft hangars, to pave the way for expansion of the newly inaugurated international terminal of the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, who made the disclosure during an interview during an inspection of facilities at the Lagos Airport on Thursday, said the private jet terminals were obstructing the expansion of the apron size of the new Chinese-built terminal, which was opened in March 2022. He said the apron size of the new international terminal is not adequate to accommodate jumbo planes operating international routes. There are indications that over 22 private jets belonging to some prominent Nigerians and organizations are expected to be relocated from the 2 million naira private jet terminals hangars ahead of the demolition of the facilities. The 2 private jet terminals belong to Dominion Air, an arm of Living Faith World Outreach, Winners Chapel, an evergreen hangar owned and operated by a private company. Well, a lot of people, we're talking about Nigeria, we're talking about the rich and the poor. We're talking about Nigeria being a poor country where you have a large population of poor men and women. Now you're talking about the rich having their own hangars at the Lagos International Airport. And the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Festus Kayamo, is threatening to demolish them. And of course, there's a memo for them to relocate before they are demolished.
Well, it's not a threat.
Yeah.
It's not a threat. No, it's an order. It's an order. When it's a threat, it looks as if he is in control.
Yeah.
You understand? And multi-billion naira, you now look, it is...
Will they be compensated?
No. No, well, it's not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the aviation authority owns that area and built it.
No, they built their hangars.
On their own?
Yes, they built their hangars within the place with the cooperation of...
That is what I'm saying.
Yes.
The place, wherever they build, whatever they build...
It's not their property.
It's not their property. It's government property.
Yeah.
So even if you know the amount of money you use to... It's government property. And...
where are they sorry. Where are they relocating? To private property?
The thing is that there must be a way out.
Okay.
There must definitely okay. There must be because they also contribute to the economy of they pay money. They pay money. Do you know that I was an airport when I was airport correspondent?
Okay.
Then they pay 200,000 monthly. Then that was 2000.
Have their terminals there.
any private jet that passed there, we went and investigated. They pay 200,000 monthly. Then times it and what the airport authority got from them in terms of revenue and that rest of. So when you say it's a threat, it is not a threat. Then come to call it multi-million naira. It's I look at it is at economic terms, alternative forgone. And then the minister has seen that the jumbo planes coming will make more money, will give the airport authority more money. Then you have to forgo this to get this. Anybody that comes in any establishment want to showcase what you feel that will benefit this. So I'm in tandem.
so why are Nigerians not attacking him for demolishing? It's only wicked that is being attacked for demolishing.
No, that one is government property. This one is individual property.
No, but individual operators are using those places.
No. And again,
it was just on the funny side.
Again, look at it. It's for the wealthy people. It doesn't affect
the common man. The revenue derived therefrom affects the common man.
Yes. Again, the minister knows that he will make more money from the one that is coming in. That is why I see a scale of preference in the economic terms. Yeah.
All right. Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that poor governance has a direct bearing on the spate of banditry and kidnapping in the Northwest geopolitical zone. Shettima spoke when he hosted the coalition of northern states, Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Consumer at the presidential villa in Abuja. The coalition was led by Dalhatu Abubakar, his president. The vice president said, re-engineering and re-strategizing affairs in the north is necessary to catapult the region into accelerated development. The Northwest comprises 7 states: Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara. Yes. Poor governance responsible for banditry. It's failed governance now. What happened in Maiduguri, for example, in Borno State, before Boko Haram emerged, was failed governance. People graduated from school and had no employment. And then there's also a natural factor, the drying of Lake Chad. And you can also attribute that to failed governance because there was a move by Chad Basin Commission that water from any water in proximity should be pumped into Lake Chad to revive it. So that the occupation of the people can continue. So in all ramifications, it's failed governance.
Well,
the same thing in Kaduna, all those states, because you look at the situation where those in the north have always been at the helm of affairs of this country. But their people are more pauperized than any other part of the country, which means that not much has been done in terms of governance and providing for the people. I think it's correct.
Well, I have a divergent view. Okay. I don't understand it. When you talk of poor governance, there's a bad banditry, it is all politics. Politics. Say politics. Politics. When honest people from the area keep on telling you some group of politicians are sponsored Boko Haram, sponsored banditry as a result of, we need to say this now, as a result of they want to offset Goodluck Jonathan.
It's poor governance.
Eh?
Go ahead.
It's not poor governance.
It's political.
The political power, political powers, I want to assume this. So, the elites in the state, those states, should be held responsible. Call it poor governance, call it politics, call it whatever. I don't think it's as a result of whatever he said, that what caused insecurity in the north. Generally,
it's political.
It's political. What raised up Boko Haram It's political. And now, you know, it is easy to equip hoodlums. Much more difficult to retrieve what you gave them. It's happening anyways. No. We don't need to hide it. So we don't, he is in the saddle of governance now. He has been there.
He was there.
He was there. He's in governance. He has been there. And he knew what the problems are. And what he says, I think he's trying to embellish or do a cover. I'm sorry to be critical this time around.
No, you're right.
Let's call a spade a spade. Let the northern elites in general, let them come back and dismantle whatever they held together that caused this insecurity, banditry, Boko Haram, unknown whatever, everything.
Yes, I think you're right, because recently in Benue State, a group raised an alarm that the insecurity you have in Plateau State, for example, Plateau State, was not as a result of herdsmen, farmers, others clashes. That some people want to create problems and blame the new government for, you know, for the insecurity in that region.
Yes.
They want to make the government unpopular by creating that problem. I think that sometimes Nigerians are very wicked. Use the life of other Nigerians to create problems.
Very necessary.
You know, just like Jonathan was stampeded out of office by creation of the amplification of the Boko Haram issue. And later they had banditry and all that. But whatever they do has an effect.
Multiply effect.
Yes. And has a backlash that leads to the suffering of the people. Even those who perpetrated those heinous crime suffer it. Today we're talking about people can't go to farm.
Yes.
There's hunger in the land.
As a result.
As a result, some people are paying tax to go to their farms in the Northwest. So that is even affecting whoever was involved in politicizing and getting benefit from insecurity and violence, what they call violence merchants. That is not as unfortunate. I think Nigerians should look out for these violent merchants and stop them from...
Crisis entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, that's what they call it.
Yes.
From continuing and thriving so that they don't destroy Nigeria as a nation. Well, beautiful. Good Ejimofo just came back and you can see he's loaded. Abuja has energized him. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more on this. You're welcome back. It is still ATM Press Roundtable here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. And don't forget, Chukwudi Ejimofor is here. The rejuvenated Chukwudi Ejimofor is here. And you can see him blowing from all cylinders. Justice Akintoye Aloko of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos on Thursday ordered the remand of 10 alleged oil thieves in the Nigeria Correctional Service for vandalism, vandalizing the National Petroleum Company Limited's pipeline on the high sea. The 10 suspected oil thieves are Adewale Abisoye Oliver, Sasa Wisdom, Michael Jonah, Dafe Empire, Rafael Kumake, Asukwo, Kambia, Onyeka Kathia, Peter John, and Isakia. The defendants are facing 2 counts of conspiracy and willful tampering with a pipeline preferred against them by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Organization. Defense Corps. The prosecuting counsel, Erut Okunjede, told the court that the incident occurred on August 20, 2023, around 12:40 a.m. at the NPC SPM on the high sea. However, the defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges. Justice Aloko ordered the remand of the defendants in the custody of NCS and adjourned the case till September 7, 2023 for trial. That's an interesting story. The initial narrative was that an organization belonging to, a security organization belonging to Tompolo was involved. You heard that?
That's yeah.
Exactly.
That's yeah.
Tantita was involved in that, and it's an interesting narrative. And they are being prosecuted because they saw that written on their shirt.
Their shirts.
That is a thief stealing, a dog eating the bone that was hung on his neck.
I don't think so, but you see, I won't allow you to count that.
Go ahead. The ball is in your court, yes.
I won't allow you to count that. The thing is that, as it is, you saw that some people can disguise.
Okay.
Just to implicate
the other person.
And the other organization. Then where otherwise,
because people wear military uniform
to steal. That is it. That is it. So when we journalists, when we are talking, we need to be broad and
it's alleged.
It's alleged. Yes. So you cannot say that it's Tompolo's security outfit that went out for that.
No, it can't be said. It's alleged.
It's alleged. Also, it's like
and the Tompolo group has reacted. Yes.
So I saw in other
different publications.
Different publications.
This one is mild.
This one is mild. Yes. What we saw here. Maybe none reported it.
Exactly. It's none reported.
So other people were
program punch and all that. We are very explosive.
So I am looking at this incident. I thought you would have looked at it the way it is here. Otherwise, if we say...
No, I was giving you from other reports. No, let's talk about it here. In another level, I would like to take that angle. So, but not today. Maybe that was tomorrow.
If we are to look at it this way, and the court's decision to do this, it's normal.
But the fundamental issue, apart from whoever is involved, is this oil thieves thing, vandalism of pipes, have become so recurring. Is there no way we can stem the tide, be proactive about it, not just being reactive and all that? The Civil Defense Corps was created to protect national assets. And most of the time, you don't see them guarding and guiding those national assets. You only see them arresting people who are found, in the breach. That's what we see.
See,
just like we said that the police. Nigeria is highly under police. I forgot the statistics. When I read it, I was mad. So that's the problem we have.
See, when we are looking at this vandalism in the group bunkering and all sorts of activities against
oil production, the downstream
sector. 3 days or 4 days ago, I saw in the amount Nigeria loses, amount of dollars Nigeria loses for this oil theft. It was alarming. I can't vividly give, but the quantum of the amount was alarming. And now you ask, from the question you asked, can't it be stopped? And each time we are having different organizations, different policing organization, kind of security organization that takes care of it. But I want to tell you that you and I, as a common man, cannot go into that. It's obvious. So the tampering of oil pipeline is done by the people that knows about it. So we don't need to be beating around issues where we know we can hit them at the head. This oil theft of 18 is done by those people in the industry. So there's no way it could stop. It is an illicit. What I mean is it is an illicit.
I think there are two types of that problem. One type is outright oil theft. Another one is vandalism, where people cut pipes to steal even refined crude, like what's happening in Lagos now. That of Lagos is refined crude.
Now,
so stealing refined crude and then stealing crude. These are two types.
Vandalism or tapping or this, it cannot be done by
without the connivance of those.
And with the people that know the knowledge, who are endowed with the knowledge of tampering with the pipes and the way to cut, and the pipe that is carrying crude, refined crude, and the one that is not carrying refined crude. These things are things. Look, I want to tell you that no armed robber that comes into this place now to steal that has not been around here.
Now, can you also talk about outright sabotage? Because oil companies also talk about sabotage, and they also talk about outright criminality.
The time of sabotage is over when the militants were on, demanding for one thing or the other. You understand?
So oil stealing is still...
I work with Bloomberg. I cover oil and gas in the South for Bloomberg, London. I knew when you talk of sabotage, that is when a group of people say, we don't want this, we are cutting off this. That was when the militants were working. Then that is when you talk about, presently we don't have sabotage. Those people that go, they are going there to make money through stealing. When we are talking about sabotage was when you have all this that we are there then. But presently we don't have sabotage. People might tell me sabotage because they have gone there to tap, they couldn't block it up. They will say it's sabotage.
Okay, now you talked about connivance.
Yes.
Go ahead on that.
So when you talk of connivance with one, it is an illicit thing. Those elites, our big men, unquote, they are the people that owns this. If you go to the high seas where they take this thing to and drop and come back, you will know that it's not something you...
Okay. That one is one aspect of the problem, and that's a bigger problem.
Yes.
But this pettiness, these petty vandals that break NNPC installations to steal oil to sell.
These are the bullfire people around.
These are not bullfire. This is a group of people stealing refined crude, that is refined oil. That is a PMS.
PMS.
Yes. So they destroy and steal. So the question I ask is, why can't we have our security operatives protecting these facilities? That one is not as big as the high sea.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
Within the Niger Delta,
this one is Lagos.
Let me take where we are coming, where we are. Within the Niger Delta, you remember that where they opened that within the, let me not mention the place, but within Niger Delta, where tanker come and fill and go.
Terminals. Yes.
Terminals. in our villages, tanker, the natives, the police, the what you call them, civil defense corps, all the security men has their own share in that very movement. They will tap, come out and share them. The one that happened to Togoni, they caught them. They now say that they even escort them, the military or the civil defense corps. They will escort them down to where they will sell this and come back.
Well, finally, let's look at it. Well, I think that the greatest challenge we have about this,
so,
apart from depletion of...
So in essence, let me, in essence, what we are saying is that this thing, there is no person that will come, if either stealing, vandalism, whatever, without the connivance of those people that are kept to look after all these facilities.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And not fair, because the effects of these activities impact on the environment, or they spill on the environment and pollute the environment. They also assist in depleting our revenue, because our production quota is very low now because of all these activities of pipeline vandalism and oil theft. If we must help our country to grow, all hands must be on deck. And our security operatives must up the ante. They should live up to their responsibilities. Now let's look at this. The National Commissioner of the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, I disclosed that the Commission has formed a joint committee with the Central Bank of Nigeria to review the regulation mandating financial institutions to obtain social media handles, among other data of customers. He disclosed this at a 2-day sensitization workshop on data privacy and protection in Abuja on Thursday. Earlier in June this year, the CBN mandated financial institutions to obtain the social media handles, email addresses, telephone numbers, residential addresses, and more of their customers. This formed part of its new customer due diligence regulation, and is a bid to further deepen the identification process in the banking system. The Apex Bank disclosed this in its Central Bank of Nigerian Regulation Act document. The CBN stated that it is new regulation. This new regulation was created to provide additional customer due diligence measures for financial institutions under the regulatory purview. However, the NDPC had kicked against the regulation, describing it as unnecessary. It's not just only unnecessary from my own point of view. It is one activity that is suspicious, that is not transparent. Every customer must give out all information that he has, including his, social media platforms and all that. We've had issues of internet fraud affecting individuals. And there has been suspicion that bank operatives are not transparent, that they aid in giving out information to these people that defraud genuine customers in the banks. And that's why this thing is being suspected by some organizations and individuals.
Oh, you see, there are some...
Just round off, because we're...
Listen, were measures that mostly this is our Apex Bank that they introduce that doesn't actually, that are not human or customer friendly.
That's the point we're making, yes.
When some certain things they do, maybe they will sit and they don't care, they don't think how it will go down. And then they fail to understand that this banking system is done in the village, in the remote villages. And if you introduce this, how do you think it could down to, and they come up effectively?
Some of this is, like you said, are not, we're going to the end of the program. Some of these programs, some of these policies are not necessary, like somebody said.
Very unnecessary.
Because even when you do that, you are making the customer more vulnerable. Because there are people in the banking system that are not transparent. Most bank robbery, most online financial fraud, transfers, and all that are aided by the kind of information some people in the bank are giving out.
That is one side of it.
Exactly, and that's what we're saying.
Side of it.
And so we expect reforms that will add value to customer benefits, customer relations, customer benefits, not unnecessary drudgeries that can even make customers more vulnerable.
More vulnerable to
fraud, internet fraud, and all that. So I think that trying to get every information about every customer does not make sense. They have enough information that can aid proper customer relations and easy transactions. Further, we rather bring more suspicion and make customers more vulnerable. I think that's the much we can take on this program. Thank you very much for coming. You've been very wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I think you're coming back from Abuja means a lot to me and to us on this program.
Yes.
You should be going to Abuja and coming back with me.
Yes. You see, going to Abuja is quite an expensive.
Expensive. I know. Well, thank you very much. That's the much we can take on today's program. And I'm sure you're watching us via our social media platforms. They're there on the screen. And don't forget, Atlantic Television Network, Press Roundtable comes to you every day, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. That's when we come. And when we come correct with those who write the stories and those who interpret and read the stories. They make it easier for you to listen. Well, thank you very much for being there. Remember our various social media platforms, and don't forget, Global News comes up at 9 p.m. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Make peace your watchword. Ensure, as I always say on this program, that every action and utterance should be a building block of peace. What you say, what you do, and what you think should be building blocks of peace. I'm out of here. My name is Bon Woke. Stay tuned.